Commission on Audit bared its findings on the misuse of pork barrel funds from 2007 to 2009. But on Wednesday, the Budget Department blamed a clerical error for the 3 billion peso pork barrel allocation of former Congressman Manuel Zamora. Here's a look. Last week, the Commission on Audit said former Congressman Manuel Zamora got the highest pork barrel allocation from 2007 to 2009, a staggering 3 billion pesos. Now it turns out did not get that much money. Budget and Management Secretary Butch Abad told ANC a clerical error is to blame. Abad explained the same special allotment release order or SARO number was assigned to a 500,000 peso multi-purpose building project for Waikurat and to a 3 billion peso nationwide maintenance project of the Public Works and Highways Department. Abad said when the Commission on Audit saw the same SARO number, it concluded that the DPWH project also belonged to Zamora. Abad says he has informed COA about the error and has apologized to Zamora. The COA report also tagged 2 foundations that received funds from former Senator Edgardo Angara as bogus. But Angara defends the pork barrel allocations. He says more than 14 million pesos went to the Kalusugan ng Bata, Karunungan ng Bayan Foundation or K&K Foundation from 2007 to 2009.
Every single peso that we spent for the school feeding program were all accounted for. We submitted yung tinatawag na fund or funds utilization report.
Angara also gave funds to the Rural Empowerment, Assistance and Development or READ Foundation. He says both are registered with the Social Welfare and Development Department and COA should have cleared the issue with him or the DSWD.
The insinuation that this is an Napoles type of because it's bogus is absolutely unfair and false.
At the Senate, Majority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano is filing 2 resolutions. First, to scrap the pork barrel of lawmakers. Second, to name former Senator Ping Lacson as special independent investigator of the so-called pork barrel scam involving businesswoman Janet Lim Napoles. The Blue Ribbon Committee will begin its inquiry next week.
In this case, we don't even know until now how many of the senators are actually involved. So what happens if a majority or many of the members of the Blue Ribbon Committee are also named by COA or by NBI? I want to make sure that people don't say that there's a conflict of interest, that they picked who the witnesses they invited, they protected some of their members. So that's why the concept of a special independent investigator.
Napoles, meanwhile, continues to elude authorities. She and her brother, Reynald Lim, are wanted over the serious illegal detention case filed by whistleblower Ben-Hur Luy. Pinky Webb, ABS-CBN News. Civil society groups are not backing down in the campaign to have pork barrel funds scrapped. On Monday, civil society groups will hold a protest in Luneta and various provinces to drum up support for the cause. Joining us this morning are Vince Lazatin, Executive Director of the Transparency and Accountability Network, and Gang Badoy, Communications Director of Change.org. Gang Vince, good morning.
Good morning.
Finally, you finally guessed it. We were supposed to have them a couple of days ago, but of course there was a storm.
Weather did not permit.
Yeah, it didn't seem like the weather wanted you guys here. But anyway, so let's start with this. You know, I'll be honest. It came from a friend of mine. She was the one, because I don't have a Facebook account, so that's the problem.
Good for you.
This is why you can smile in the morning.
Maybe so. So my friend Patrice tells me that, you know, there is this movement, a call for people to go to Luneta, and it's called a picnic.
Or, I don't know.
Gathering.
Of some sort.
Tipon, yeah. I mean, we don't know what to call it actually.
Yeah, but because here's the thing. There's no formal organizers,
No.
right? I mean, I handpicked the 2 of you to actually come to the show. So what kind, let's start with the kind of organization there is. What's it like right now?
I don't assume that you read the article I released enough.
Which
but
one?
then
No.
I have no idea, right? I'm on Facebook reading all these videos of watching videos of Napoleon's 21st birthday, and then you get all these acerbic posts na grabe, 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 and then somebody tags me somewhere, someone's Facebook page na hindi ko kilala, at ang nakalagay doon, gang, you must see this. And on top it says in all caps, we must go to Luneta on this day and this, August 26th. And I said, oh, someone made a call. So I said, okay, so I reposted it, because it's so viral. But like I said, I never met her, I don't know these people, but I figured everybody's on that press. So I will always post, if you want to go, you go. If you don't want to go, don't go. But you have to know that something like, there is such an invitation. And then all the conspiracy theories started coming out. I think, sino yung backer? Is it government? Is it a TV show in LA? Is it, military?
So who's your backer?
Oh my God! Sana meron.
No, there's one.
No. I think it needs to be clarified again. It's just one lady who posted it. Yeah. Many people posted onto that one lady's invitation because before that, do you remember Neocolors? Okay, anyway, it's a band.
No.
The lead singer.
Before
Sorry. The lead singer of that band in the 90s just said maybe we should go to Luneta. That's what Peachy read. But she was so outraged. She actually put a time and place.
And
just off the top of her head.
According to her, she was just angry inviting her Facebook friends to go to Luneta, imagining she'd have at least 18, 20 people with her on that day. Because she said, August 26, kasi wala akong pasok. Diba, that's so, you can really see that it's not an organized plan.
Yeah.
And then, after a few days, people started calling me saying, did you organize this? I said, look, it's set at 9 a.m. I'm not awake at 9 a.m., so that's not me. No, that's not me.
There's one good thing, though, Vince, right? I think it was Sunday, that you, I don't know, it could be impromptu, could be not, you all met in a restaurant.
Yes.
And my understanding is to, have the people who care really understand the issue. I think that is, I salute you guys for that because knowledge is, empowering. Right?
Yeah.
That's the only, it's good for people to actually go. Those who hate what happened, who are very emotional about it, but to actually know something about it and be empowered by it is a step towards the right direction.
Absolutely, Pinky.
Gang had a couple of friends who wanted to know more about what was going on. They didn't quite understand. They knew they were angry, but they didn't know exactly why, what were the facts, what's myth, what's rumor.
Hindi yung funny doon, I think representative yun of many. Yung they're feeling something because they saw these videos and the allegations, all still allegations. And then they're not even sure what PDAF, the abbreviation, stands for, GAA, there's, all these jargon, you get lost in it. So, since ang dami nagko-comment sa Facebook page ko na angry, emotional, and some of them are really no offense, fashion designer. So I know that they're not the ones who would rally before. So I invited everybody to meet up and say, parang social studies class.
And you're the professor?
No, he
definitely Vince, right?
We invited Tanya Hamada because she was the one who started the petition on change.org under the former senior government official.
Exactly, kasama sila, diba?
So I invited her to explain what their petition is about, which is push for the ombudsman to probe this alleged PDAF scam. Si Vince naman, kasi parang sinusuyod niya yung COA report. He really knows the COA report, so I invited parang resource
He's the resource person.
Yeah. And then everybody there, Pinky, there's a triathlete, the women's health editor-in-chief. Ito yung mga never involved before. They actually were asking questions like, so what does the PDAF do? And then he had to clarify, remember, they're legislators. They make laws primarily. Why do they have this much money?
True. That's fine. Those are okay questions.
These are basic questions that we should all be asking.
Because you can't expect everyone to watch the news. You can expect the journalists to know it, but the people who watch it, it's something that's just what they know is probably on the surface. So Vince, what was it like?
Well, it's very
you're
good.
a regular guest and all on ANC.
Well, I think Gang overestimated my ability.
Sorry, No, kasi Vince is the only one I could drag on a Sunday. Kung ako yun, di si Randy
So wait a minute, how many people were there? I mean, more or less.
Siguro mga 22 din. On a rainy Sunday night, we really should be
I actually wanted to go myself. I just had work.
yung common sentiment, everybody was saying, my gosh, gusto ko na lang maging ganap na burgis. Parang pwede bang yun na lang yung life ko? But then when you see things like this, a Pangasinan farmer, getting notice that he allegedly received a grant but he didn't. When you see families that have no health care, ganyan, and you see a family na allegedly benefiting from Congressman's allocations, you can't help it. Parang, di ba? So, itong mga to, I'm so glad that they were asking questions.
Okay.
Now, the reason why we met up on Sunday is because there's a something on Monday, right? That march in Luneta. Sabi ko, kailangan mas marami silang alam.
Tama.
You have to know why you're going.
That's true.
And then, if after Sunday's lecture with friends, you still want to go, then go. If you don't want to go and you learned a few things, then go.
All right, Vince.
I think what's interesting about the August 26th event is it's pulling people out of the woodwork. It's pulling people that I met during that dinner on Sunday night. One said he hadn't been on the street since February 1986.
I'm sure.
Right? And now he's just so pushed to anger that he needs a place to vent his anger and frustration. I think that's what a lot of people are looking at August 26th for. It's a venue for them to just vent it.
Yeah. I don't blame people for being emotional about this, but it's good to be emotional, empowered with enough information.
I think emotional and efficient is very, they have to come together.
Right, right. So it's exciting, but there is a goal. Well, number one, there are no organizers. Number two, the plan is 1 million signatures. Do you think it might be difficult for you guys to, do you need a permit? Number one. Is anyone securing a permit?
I really don't know. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, we don't know.
Bahala na.
I don't know, actually. Yeah, I think it's a group that's asking for a permit.
Yeah, I saw somebody post on maybe Facebook that a permit has been secured. I don't know if that's true or not.
Because parang they were saying at some point it's a pocket picnic, so who cares, right?
You don't need a permit. You don't need a permit to have a picnic.
I thought you could always go to Luneta, period.
Exactly. So pwede yun. Kaya lang baka naman, well, I don't know, no? Of course, police can actually stop you guys.
I'm having a picnic? Maybe not.
You better bring sandwiches.
We'll just share sandwiches with them, right?
No, we want to bring lechon. So mahal. For those who are watching now and parang hesitant, not sure, no problem. That's great. Because even we don't have explanations of kung anong itsura nun or etc. Ang alam lang ng everybody, alam lang ng lahat ay something came to light, this alleged scam. There is something everybody's feeling.
Are you still calling it an alleged scam?
I'm preventing libel suits.
Alleged is always your sort of
diba?
reported.
Kahit nga may crossword doon, basta may alleged. Actually, no. A question is never libelous. So, is it a scam?
Question mark.
But I know how you're feeling. And in fact, there are many concerns. No, kakalat lang. If nothing happens, if the pork is still there and they still do it, people will think that the gathering on Monday is a failure and they won't do it again. I get those fears. Of course, I have those too. But I think many people, and by default, sorry, I'll say this on air. By default, I'm not a rally goer, but which is why I started Rocket because I didn't want to rally, so I wanted to do other things. But I think gatherings like these is a language the government officials understand.
Okay. So just to clarify this, it's a pocket picnic. They're supposed to wear white. Correct?
I don't know.
Everyone's making different calls. People are saying white, people are saying whatever.
Ang gulo,
Yeah,
ito yung interesting dun.
Although pretty much wearing white.
Wait a minute. What are you guys wearing? Are you guys wearing white?
Well, because you're wearing white.
Ito yung naka-plancha eh. Hindi, ito.
No, you guys. Because, somehow for today, you're the face, and maybe for some people, you are the face. What are you wearing on Monday?
Me, I'm wearing my No More FL t-shirt.
And I'm confused. I don't know if we can show it. I saw like slogans like tayo ang boss, wag makibaka, wag magbaboy. Those are very cute. Saan ba galing yung mga
It's just organic. This stuff is just coming out of the woodwork.
I'm glad
People
you brought
are
that up.
making their own t-shirts, making their own memes. I mean, it's amazing. It's
you
beautiful.
should show them. There's so many posters na gawa ng...
Yeah, and
okay.
Uy, ako yan.
Ikaw ba yan? Facebook na nga ako.
No, I created this as a summary for my nieces and nephews. I explained that this was just an idea, then a plan, then questions who's behind this. So I said, own, walk, bike, ignore. You can even ignore it.
Yeah,
Sit, stand, and run with it. But this August 26 is yours.
Wow.
You don't even have to go if you don't want to, diba? And you know what? I think this is great kasi response to sa, you know how many of us go because, let's say, because Cardinal Sin called, because Randy David said, because, you know, people we trust, you know, there's someone who called. This is the first time that people are going because I want to go.
Here, okay, let's show some
Ito,
of
sino gumawa nito? Hindi ko alam
there's
sino
this,
gumawa nito.
abolish, not suspend.
May abolish, not suspend.
Okay, I think there are other, I sent my producer a number of other, yung thumb down, thumb down.
Pinky, can you see that change.org, what do you call this, website, the link under? Okay, change.org campaigns PDAF scam, because since August 7, there have been 57 new petitions related to the PDAF scam, meaning the first one was FSGO, former senior government official said ombudsman probe, and then all the other petitions nakalagay, yung iba abolish, yung iba don't abolish but donate
Reform.
to PGH. Yung iba, tell Cardinal Tagle to tell them to abolish. Ayun, no? So, I like this page. So, if you're looking at the link, your screen right now, and that link under PDAF-scam, you will see very many shades of this protest. You sign what means something to you. Because people who are going to Luneta, some of them don't want abolish. Some want abolish.
Yes, okay. What is...
the common thread?
Yes. Is it abolish? Is it suspend? Or let's put more safeguards?
The common thread is abolish, more or less.
Siya yun. That's Vincent.
The common sentiment is abolish. May but ba? But if you can, you know,
There are
implement
some who have but.
safeguards.
I don't have but. Mine is just abolish.
Si Vincent.
Oh, wait. What's yours?
Hindi pa ako sure eh. Pero more...
Abolish ka na. Abolish ka na.
Wait. No, I know na.
How much
No, hindi ako sure. Hindi ako sure dahil hindi ko pa siya naaral thoroughly. Ang alam ko, there's a PDAF and there are loopholes to the system of allocating it, and I don't want this.
Okay, wait a minute.
But the PDAF,
so
scrap
if the president is saying, for now, let's suspend it and let's find ways to
make it work.
Make it work, plug the loopholes, and then just let me narrate some of what he said. He says that there are good and bad, how do you call this, projects of PDAF. Okay, that's number one. Number two, he says, it happened during the past administration. It's not yet, syempre, hindi pa nangyayari sa administration ni Pinoy kasi wala pang investigation ng COA, okay? So, can't you even open your mind? Not that I'm asking you to do something like that, Vince, because you're dead set on the abolition.
The discussion of Pinoy is already down at the project level. Good projects, bad projects, we need to reform. Let's step back a bit and look at the bigger picture about pork barrel. Pork barrel is about executive control over the legislature. That's what it is, plain and simple. It's executive. GMA used the pork.
Explain that, Vince, to our viewers.
GMA used the pork barrel to influence congressmen to make sure that no impeachment complaint against her would prosper. Some have said Pinoy has used the pork barrel to ensure that impeachment complaints against Chief Justice Corona and Ombudsman Mercy Gutierrez prospered.
These are allegations.
These are allegations. These are what
I'm
popular belief.
I'm saving you from libel.
Right. So,
okay.
So, that's, for me, that's why the pork barrel is wrong, because it is an infringement of the executive branch of government into the area of the legislature.
You know, it's basically you're saying it's something the executive can dangle to the congressman and say, go here.
Exactly. But in a perfect world, it is the political party of the president that makes decisions about legislation. So the president is a member of XYZ political party. He's got a majority in the legislature. He says, party mates, this is our legislative agenda because this is what our party believes in.
Okay.
Meron akong I have something, and I think I speak on behalf of many.
Okay.
Many of us don't clearly understand how it goes on, right? The only thing we are sure of is that taxpayers' money should not be going into private pockets. For now, I will leave it to the experts to figure this out. What is the best way to reach that goal, that nobody steals taxpayers' money, the taxpayers' money will go to a health center, a school, and etc. Now, alam ko na yun lang yung goal ko. And the experts can tell me if it's abolished or not. Marami kaming ganito. Marami kaming ganito.
Because there's nothing wrong with the money. Basically, as long as it goes to the right projects, whether it be health centers, roads, hospitals, calamity funds, etc., relief goods, etc., stuff like that. But here's the thing: we always talk about senators getting 200 million a year are allotted. Of course,
Wow,
Vince,
really?
70 million.
See, I didn't even know.
Okay, 200 million for
Wow.
for senators a year, 70 million for congressmen a year. Here's the but they can get more, or they can get zero. It depends on the discretion of the
executive.
So it is really a whip that the president uses to get the Congress to do what he or she wants it to do.
Yeah.
And that's wrong.
But don't we want our palace to have that kind of hold at some point?
Not
no?
money.
Okay.
It
Sorry.
should be ideas. It should be ideas.
The example of Vince was using allegedly was because, for example, the Corona impeachment trial. You know, in any project that the president wants you to agree on or disagree on, that can be used. He says, as a tool. Okay, so so Janet Lim Napoles, etc. Okay. I spoke.
Where is she? Oh, wala lang. I just thought I'd say that. I hope she's fine. No, seriously. I hope Janet's fine. She should take care because we care.
Because you want her what?
Because I care.
No, because
we're human beings.
We want her to defend her innocence.
Yes.
Very sarcastic.
No. I think she's right.
Really?
Maybe she has something to say.
Well, she said she's innocent.
You know,
right?
out of 30 NGOs, I'm sure there's 2 or 3 functioning, you know? Maybe
You think
more.
so?
Hindi pwedeng 30 lahat yun bogus, di ba? Nakakapagod yun. Nakakapagod to keep making.
Let's talk about the senators. You were asking Vince a while ago. There were two issues I covered yesterday. One was Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Let me get your reactions on this. Now, let me start with Senator Edgardo Angara. Yes, he admits that there was one NGO that he put some of his money, his pork, into. It's called K&K Foundation. It's a feeding program. Back in 2002, it ran till about 2009. 14 million in a span of 7 years. Maybe not too big for some, maybe not big at all. Yes, he was a member because he says, this was his brainchild way back. It was supposed to be a private endeavor, probably like you, Vince, and you, gang, you know, you want to get into something. And then eventually he figured, okay, he opened it up together with very prominent personalities. And sadly, sinama din niya yung pamangkin niya, Raisa Moises. So that's where there's a little bit of a suspicion. So I asked him, sir, do you think there was a shortcoming on your part? He goes, well, hindi naman shortcoming, pero siguro para to erase all fears and suspicion, sana, when I put money from my pork to that NGO, K&K, sana tinanggal ko na yung sarili ko at yung pamangkin ko. But, again, in the end, he says, but you can check it. Every peso is accounted for. We are accredited by the DSWD. Is that something? Is there something wrong with that?
I think the point there is, while Senator Angara may be accurate in saying that the money went to where it was supposed to go, everything's legit, etc., etc.,
yeah,
you still have to worry about the public perception problem and the ethical problem. That people will always doubt something like that. And while the senator's intentions may be good,
even if, let's say, the niece, that's really her expertise, like let's say my
that's a good question.
In that case, I'd ask another senator, you might want to consider funding this. Not me, because I'm related to that.
Yeah, but if it's another senator, they're going to say, well, they're close allies.
I was being a little facetious. But,
you know, because I have wonderfully intelligent nieces and nephews, I think I will hire them then. Diba? Baka yung expertise niya yun.
Yeah, but
kung dentista siya,
if you're
tapos
talking,
fertilizer scam yun. I'm sorry, scam. Fertilizer NGO
okay
yun.
lang, it's called fertilizer.
But if you're talking about private money, you're talking about private donations, it's all above board, it's all clear, then that's okay. But when you know about public money, you have to be extra careful with it.
And taas ng presyo.
It's just the ethical, you know.
I mean, look at Matt Defensor, Congressman Matt Defensor, 3rd District of Quezon City. He gives 99.5 million pesos to a foundation called the Matias Defensor Senior Foundation.
99.5?
He wasn't even smart enough
to
at least change the name.
At least, diba? Ibahin mo naman yung pangalan. Okay, all right.
No, I get it. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so again, you can probably have a different take on that, Yang, right? And Vince can have a different take on that. I see your point, and I see your point as well. Actually, sometimes you have to think about it. If you're a senator yourself.
No, I think this is my takeaway from Vince. If a public official, I'm sorry, ang taas ng presyo pag mag-choose ka to be a public official. Because yes, even if you have pala an expertise, nephew and niece, there will be a public perception that it's nepotism, it's benefiting relatives, money is involved, then the doubts come in. I think our country is in a position where we need to be very clear. Parang baka we can't afford the nuances yet. How sad, no? Sana. Kasi what if Senator Angara's niece is really the perfect person for that?
Let me give you a hypothetical example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Congresswoman Lenny Robredo. There are many people put up Jesse M. Robredo Foundation, none of which she is affiliated with. But if any of her pork barrel gets to that, people are going to say, oh, she's just funding Jesse's foundation.
Even if it's not her.
Yeah.
Actually, yun
But
din yung
it doesn't
downside
look
of being a
nice.
politician.
No, but isn't that oppressive to the politician? I mean, but then that's the standard we set.
It is.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
very. I mean, quite casually.
I'm so
it is.
schizo. I'm arguing with myself.
I know.
Sorry.
I'm getting confused with you. Okay, let's talk about Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. I don't know if you know, but yesterday he called for a press conference on the pork. Abolish, he says, the pork. The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee will investigate the pork, and he says, wait a minute, senators investigating possibly senators with eventual links. So I want Senator Ping Lacson to be the special independent investigator. Your thoughts on that?
I don't think I can go along with Senator Cayetano on that. Senator Ping Lacson still has political image. I think if there's going to be any independent commission, it should be people who are not politicians, for one thing, and who are perceived to be independent. And I think it is very well known who Senator Ping Lacson's enemies are. I mean, we all know that. So anything he does will either be perceived as coddling or, going against his enemies.
Is he the most independent pork-wise in this Senate?
He never
got
his pork ever since he ran as
And
senator.
allegedly, Senator Arroyo.
Yes, I think there were two. All right. We're going to have to go. So August 26th, you might want to invite them, Gang and Vince. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I think anybody who's out there, and this is really gathering of citizens, individuals, come out. Let's have a day of venting our anger, but also a day to think about constructive ways to deal with this. Let's all meet at Luneta on August 26th at 9 a.m. See you there.
Until what? Until whenever.
Hanggang ulan.
Hapon pa ako.
No, I think why?
Ako naman, because obviously there seems to be, unfortunately or fortunately, there's no one one steady statement for the whole thing. The thinnest thread that holds everybody, every group that will be there, I think, is please probe this scam that came to light. This alleged scam that came to light. I put alleged. Parang yun yata yung pinakamanipis that holds everybody together. All the offshoots of that would be scrap pork, restudy pork, instill regulations on NGOs, or FOI to prevent shadier deals in the future. Ang daming prisons niya. But you have to remember, the common thin thread line is this alleged scam that came to light, thanks to Napoles. You have to probe this.
All right.
This cannot go untouched, ignored, and nothing, di ba? So if that's how you feel, then go. Alam mo, if you just want to take a selfie and post it that you went, no problem.
You're free to do anything you want to do, huh?
Basta make a decision, because you know
Basta
this
peaceful.
Yeah.
Basta peaceful. I think this is a time where you make a decision to be part of the country or not.
You know what? It is going to be quite interesting to find out how many people actually show up in Luneta.
We'll see you there.
Will you be there?
Huh? I have work on 9 o'clock.
But will you be there if you didn't have work?
We work on a holiday.
Yes.
Would I be there if
you weren't?
The truth?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Awesome.
Okay.
Scrap pork or not?
I'm not yet sure
You
about
can't
that.
hold it.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm still with you. Yeah.
I will leave it to the
It's
experts.
easy to say abolish it, but there are some arguments against that also.
Before we end, can I say this again?
Go ahead.
What many of us know is that corruption using taxpayers' money should end. If the best process, according to the best mind, say it's abolished, I'll go there. If they say no, there are other ways, I'll go there. Basta corruption.
All right. Jan, thanks a lot. Thank you, Vince. Thanks a lot. Good luck on Monday.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right.